Today we are hearing Jason Branham, who's one of my doctoral students. Jason is also earned his master's degree here at the University of Michigan. He's a very, very fine organist, as you're going to see, and he's brought today the Bach Prelude and Fugue in G major, BWV 541, I'm sorry. And he will now play some for us. I'll see how far he can go before I can stop him. Very good. This is a glorious piece, a happy piece. A key of G major just couldn't be happier anyway. But also the figuration is so jubilant. Already we're thinking positive things. We're thinking about wonderful things that are happening through this marvelous music. Bach himself must have been very happy at this moment when he wrote this piece, because it's all the arpeggios themselves have a certain kind of joy, and then followed by the big pedal solos. Play just a little bit of the pedals right there at the bottom line. Yeah, just the pedals alone for a minute. Da 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 da. Good, very good. That isn't unusual writing in Bach, because very often he would take a figure which was scalar passage and answer it with a pedal point at the top. Ta da 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 da, same pedal each one. But Jason, you're very, very good. The rhythm is good. First thing we always listen to with an organist is the rhythm. With any performer, the rhythm is what makes the piece. The rhythm is the backbone of the whole thing. And Jason did a very good thing at the very beginning. He accents and articulates, actually, he accents the top G, but by articulating the first 3/16. Could you those da-da-dum again? That's right. Okay, the accent comes on the G because you have 3 upbeats. Da 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 da. One more time. I like that. Okay. Now, after that arpeggio, Bach himself goes on in writing into a scalar passage and then some more arpeggios. The whole thing defining G major over and over. He wants you to know that G major is going to be the main part of this piece. But when the pedals come, something else happens. Could you play just the pedal solos for us for a minute? Good, go on. Very good. Now, again, the little half step is defining the upbeat, but here's the, and then, so he's simply outlining the harmonies. The harmony of 1 to 5, now 5, and you know you're really in G major because of the strength of those cadences the way they are. Now, the main thing I would want to tell him is that, number one, he plays in a very relaxed position, and that's very, very good. However, as you go to the organ, it's really important. We haven't talked about this at all too much, Jason and I, about the height of the bench. You have it fairly high, don't you? That you're comfortable. Most people play with a bench too low. They're playing like this instead of like this. And by having the bench a little bit higher, especially if, as he's doing, he's using historic pedaling. If he's using the historic pedal, which is pretty much alternate toes, alternate feet, he's able to secure a certainty, a certain touch, and a certain sureness, accuracy that you can't get if you play too much with the heel, too. One more time, just the pedals alone. Just to where there, yeah. Da-da-dum. 2. Very, very good. Do you see also the balance in Bach's writing, where he has the little half tones with a arpeggio, another arpeggio, then after that, a big deluge of constant sixteenths. Play the sixteenths for a minute, please. D da da dum, B A right here, da 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 dum. Now everybody, Jason is very good. I know Jason didn't get that just by smiling. He's practiced a lot. The practicing is so important at places like that, where the minute he's on the low C, you're already moving up to the top C for the octave. One more time right there. Da 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 dum. Up. Very, very good. Now this is a piece also of pedal points. A pedal point is a pitch which is repeated over and over, or even held. And above that pedal point moves the harmonies. And a composer very often uses the pedal point, in other words, to make a modulation or a movement of any very special kinds. This piece, though, is such a wonderful combination of these arpeggios in the keyboard, and then the arpeggios in the hands, and then finally the sixteenths in the pedals. I think we should probably go ahead. I've asked Jason now to play the fugue, which follows the prelude in G major. Stopping place right there. Very, very good. A hard piece. What's so difficult about this piece is literally you're rubbing your head and patting your stomach on a very high esoteric level. Each part has its own song to sing, the left hand, the right hand, the pedals. Sometimes the pedals usually act together, but sometimes they're different. So we have to think really hard. And the whole secret to good performance like this is preparation. If you don't prepare, then it's not going to be very good. So the preparation is so important, and thinking ahead of time. He's done an awful lot of practice on this. He wouldn't be able to play it at all if he hadn't played it so many, many times. And so the interesting thing about the piece itself is, number one, the notes itself, but also the articulation. The articulation here is the separation of the long notes with the short notes, but all of these notes are short. All absolutely short and equal. Now on the piano we don't have repeated notes quite like this. On the piano we can do, and we can get by it, but on the organ you must make it exactly half value. I remember studying with Maurice Duruflé, and I remember I would be playing like this, and he would be standing by me. He'd say, duh, duh, duh. The was the note, the duh was the note, or the rest. The rest, duh. So, duh, do, do, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. So the shortness of the notes is what makes, I think, the rhythm to come out, but also the long notes make it stronger too. A little short, long, short, short, long.